Hello, how you doing? I hope you guys doing great. Just a quick disclaimer. As of yesterday, we unfortunately lost young Dolph, and it's unfortunate, and we had no idea that something would happen. So, next episode, we will give him his proper flowers, and it will be done in a proper manner. So things that will be mentioned, making sure that his work is acknowledged, thoroughly. So we will make sure that he will be given his flowers by the next episode. So, that's just a disclaimer. And I hope you guys stay safe. All the rappers out there stay safe and long live young Dolph. And, so hopefully a change will happen. But I have to make that disclaimer real quick just to let y'all know. So, giving people time to mourn and go through this whole thing. So, just to let y'all know, but he will be mentioned during flowers in the next episode. Okay. So, we're going to get into this episode here. All right. And we're going to start the segment off bar time. And bar time is a segment where we're talking about bars that has been released from singles as of recently, just digging into it, dissecting the bars. So, yeah, it's a fun concept. Also, a disclaimer, yes, we do need to switch the words up because, we trying to keep this PG-13 over here. So we got Bad Man Smooth Criminal by Polo G. Okay, Polo G, all right. And this is off of his project Hall of Fame 2.0. Okay, so check that out. So the first bar that we have is Smooth Criminal, Mike Jack. And I still like to tote a .45 like Mike back. Pull that tag out just to make a statement. He gonna need a body bag or a night sack. Okay, so Polo G, he just kicked it off like this. This was a good double entendre here, okay? And of course, he's paying homage to Michael Jackson, and he also paying homage to Michael Jordan. Now, the .45 we all know is a handgun, but also .45 to Michael Jordan, it was a jersey that he used to wear for basketball and baseball. So 45, the number is very monumental to Michael Jordan. So the way that Polo G played this off was really, really good. Okay. And this was the first bar. That's how you're supposed to do it when you do these records. You're supposed to kick it off just like that out the gate. No chances, no hesitation. Okay. So, yeah, I like that. And next, we have Still on That Nonsense. MJ, really one of the hottest, and I never dropped a mixtape. Now, it is true. Now, Polo G has not released a mixtape during his whole career, artistry. He has never dropped a mixtape. So we all know, we always hear that, oh yeah, my mixtape is fire and stuff like that. So he was using, that whole thing as for this bar here. And that's very, that's like a trophy right there. Honestly, it's kind of hard, trying to come into the game without having a mixtape like that. You know what I'm saying? So for him to do that is very rewarding. Okay. So yes, out to that. And yeah, go ahead and get your brag on. Next, we have 30 shots. 30 shots will knock him down like Muhammad Ali do the race scratch off in a track hawk Jeep. Paying homage to Muhammad Ali. We know Muhammad Ali is one of the best fighters ever in the fastest. Okay. Did you remember? Don't forget that whole dodge that Muhammad did. Okay, so we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna forget about that. But yeah, so yeah, just paying homage and just playing off words again. Shout out to Polo G. Now, if he does a video to this track, it will be fire. But other than that, Polo G, keep on doing what you're doing. And I see you with lyricists out here. Okay, so you know what I mean? That's how you're supposed to do it. Next, we have Outlaws by Rick Ross, okay? By Rick Ross. featuring Jasmine Civilian and 21 Savage. Okay, so this is a single that he just dropped as of recent. So, first bar we got is I got a line of cars rapping around the block and living better than these rappers round around the clock. Now, Rick Ross, we've been doing this for a long time, and we do know that if you put all your eggs into one basket, you get to stress yourself out. And what he's saying is, a little game here is that, rapping around the clock, depending around the clock, and just stressing yourself out just to get pennies is just not the way to go. So that's what he was saying as far as this bar goes. So yeah, so that next we have mozzarella. Now it's only tall cheddar. Most dope boys been a pallbearer. Now, pallbearer is an actual person. I just found this out. He's an actual person. He actually is a funeral director, and we all know pallbearer as carrying the casket. So you know, he's just saying how that life is. You know what I mean? When it comes to that lifestyle, unfortunately, uh, harsh truth is, a lot of funerals that you got to go to just because of how crazy that life is, So that's what he's saying as far as that go. And next we have all these other ninjas re-rock, call my nine Jada, she kissing ninja D Block. Okay. So giving the showing love to Jada Kiss and showing love to the locks and stuff like that. And 21 Savage did that play on words. And what I mean? Sharp. Sharp, we all know he referring to nine as a gun, and what I mean, how you will get touched with this. So that's what he is saying. So yeah, again, shout out to Rick Ross, shout out to 21 Savage. I think he gonna do a visual for this. And also, again, shout out to Polo G. Keep on doing y'all thing, making these records and doing what y'all got to do to work and eat and feed your fam. So, yeah, that going to wrap up bar time. Okay, so the next segment that we have is Flowers, where we showing love to rappers, producers, anybody who contribute to the rap culture, making sure that their work is not unappreciated or underappreciated, making sure that they acknowledge. Okay, so for this week we have Ice Cube. Okay, Ice Cube. All right. Ice Cube, okay, one of the best who ever did it. When it comes to that pen, is ridiculous. His delivery, all that, something. Now, of course, was born and raised in Los Angeles. Okay, rapper, songwriter, screenwriter, and actor, producer. You know what I mean? Again, not putting all of your eggs into one basket. Okay. So, he was involved in 3 hip hop groups. CIA, not the actual, okay, hip hop group, okay, CIA, NWA, and West Side Connection, okay. Ooh, ooh. What, okay. All right, y'all know what song I'm talking about, okay. I just picked that the other day in the grocery store in accent. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, involving 3 hip hop groups, okay. But of course, we do, he did kicked it off with NWA and later on West Side Connection. So his first album that he released was America's Most Wanted, okay. That was released on May 16th. 1990. I'm sorry for that pause. I'm sorry, but I was just like, dang, okay. So yeah, it was certified platinum. Okay, certified platinum. All right, and it was conscious and gangster rap. Touching topics on poverty, racism. What I mean, street stuff that be going on, and the whole nonsense when it comes to like racism, really, and just really saying things that we've been telling to each other in the community, however, putting it on a public display. And that's exactly what America's Most Wanted was. You know what I'm saying? And and that's just what it was, very monumental. And his most successful projects that he has released have been Death Certificate and Lethal Interjection. Okay, the two most, that's where we got No Vaseline. Okay, Today Was a Good Day. And all the classics that Ice Cube has done and has released over the years. It has, those two projects. And of course, when it comes to acting, his first acting role was Doughboy in Boys in the Hood. Okay, one of the classic LA films that has been released, and long live John Singleton for that. Okay, and that role was believable. Okay, Ice Cube played the hell out of that role. Okay, and of course, if it wasn't for Ice Cube, we would not have the Friday sequels. Okay, it wouldn't be Friday. Okay, from the first to the second and to the third. Okay, we would not have that. All right, and of course, we have Are We There Yet? XXX. Um, and let me see. There's more. Of course, 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street for all the youngins. Okay, y'all would know Ice Cube when he was playing the lieutenant. But yeah, like Ice Cube again, and also one of the rappers that does a screw face well. Okay. So but yeah, again, shout out to Ice Cube. He did a lot of, there was a lot of classic moments when it comes to Ice Cube, and we just had to make sure that he is acknowledged for that. And yeah, he really, one thing that I do respect about Ice Cube is that he would stay 10 toes down, okay, due to what he said or what he doing or whatever. He doesn't waste no time. Okay. And yeah, I have to gotta respect that. You know what I mean? Again, we would not have Friday, all the classic moments from the first to the second into the third one. Okay. He low key made a Christmas movie. Okay. I would consider Friday After Next a Christmas movie, of course, theme and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah. So again, shout out to Ice Cube and thank you for everything that you have done for the culture. Okay. So that will wrap up for Flowers. Next segment we got is Biz After Music. This is a concept, and this is the segment that we talk about where rappers is either investing, endorsing a brand or something that is outside of music. You know what I mean? Again, like I said for the third time this episode, don't put all your eggs into one basket, okay? We got E-40. Ooh, okay. E-40 is coming out with a new gourmet meat brand called Goon With The Spoon. Okay. Goon With The Spoon, all right? And he has partnered with Justin Kendall of Kendall Meats in Delhi Barbecue Company. So that's what he has been doing, making sure that, his stuff is up to par and the best. Okay. And this line has packaged sausage, burritos, and numerous flavors that you could think of. And he is willing to expand the brand in the near future. So, for right now, we're going to have sausages and burritos, but he is planning on expanding. And who knows? What I mean? He might be doing like the sausage and the burritos. Probably might be doing burgers. You know what I'm saying? Packaged ribs. I don't know, but it's cool though. Expand. But I like how he's just keeping it simple as of right now. You know what I mean? That's very smart. You know what I mean? So again, shout out to E-40. Okay. Ooh, all right. So again, shout out to E-40. Good business move. I love it. Next, we have Nas. Okay, Nas is trying to be in the cigar business. About time. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. He is now the co-owner of Escobar Cigars. Okay, I love to play on words there. Escobar Cigars. Okay, a new cigar collection, and also he will create a line with handmade blunt wraps. Okay, so he's in that business. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, are we? You know what I mean? But then again, this is a good thing here. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised at all, but I'm just glad that he is going to an avenue that kind of fits him and fits his name. You know what I mean? So again, not surprised. So again, shout out to E-40 and shout out to Nas. Keep on doing your thing. And Nas, he's doing his thing. He's been on the news as of lately, okay? And that's how you're supposed to do it. All right, aside from music, you know what I mean? What other avenues that you finna tap in with? So yeah, so that is that for Biz After Music. Now we got compare and contrast. Now this is a segment that we do where we compare and contrast between, artists, producers, even groups, and something else in the future. But yeah, so this is the concept that we do. Yeah, there's some similarities, however, they are different. LL Cool J and Heavy D. I know some of y'all like, huh? But hear me out. Okay, hear us out. Okay, yes. LL Cool J and Heavy D. Okay, when I'm finna dig into these compares, it's gonna make sense. So of course they both came out in the 80s. LL Cool J kind of came out a little earlier than Heavy D, but they both came out in the 80s, okay? And they both catered to the ladies, okay? I Need Love by LL Cool J and Somebody For Me by Heavy D, okay? Lounging by LL Cool J, and Is It Good to You by Heavy D. I mean, come on, the comparison's there, okay? It's like they make hits that they know that the ladies would love to, hear what a man say. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And they both cross over into acting. We all know that when it comes to LL Cool J with his whole masculine figure, you know what I mean? Of course, when it came to Hollywood, he's that pick. In Too Deep, you know what I mean? He was in SWAT. I think he was in SWAT. But yeah, and then Heavy D. I remember the episode when he was on Living Single, when he was Regine's friend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did remember that episode. So sweet. And yeah, and they both grew up in New York. Okay, New York. Okay, so yeah. Now, what makes them a little different? Yeah, see, LL Cool J, of course, he is one of Def Jam's biggest asset. Okay, like when it comes to Def Jam, he's one of those artists that's like you gotta mention this person. They helped build this brand. You know what I'm saying? So just like when it comes to Death Row, you can't mention, what I mean, Death Row without Tupac or Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre. So LL Cool J is like considered one of those, what I mean, pioneers, one of those, biggest assets, okay? Especially around that time in the 80s, you know what I mean? Because later on, Def Jam became one of the biggest rap labels ever, okay? So, yeah, and then, of course, his music content, is more East Coast and hardcore rap, aside from like the love songs that I just mentioned just now, like, Love You Better, and stuff like that. It was more a little bit hardcore in the beginning, you know what I mean? Later on, of course, things kind of simmered down, later on when you become a little more seasoned. And in his prime, during his prime, before he became seasoned, he was willing to battle anybody. He battled Ice-T, Kumo D, and yeah, so it was like, hey, I'm down for whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that was the difference between LL Cool J. I remembered, and of course, we would not forget about the whole cannabis back and forth and all that. Like, and he was up for the challenge. So that was, LL Cool J's aura. So let's get into Heavy D and what makes him a little bit different side. Later on in the 90s, he became the president of Uptown Records, a label that he was signed to also as well, with P. Diddy as his intern. Okay. And guess what? When it comes to Uptown, you got Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of household names up in Uptown, okay? And that would not be the case if it wasn't for Heavy D, okay? So yeah, so let's just keep it real on that one here. And with Heavy D and the boys, that's a group that he was with. You know what I mean? The music content was more party theme, aside from like, the love, you know what I mean, cater to the ladies. It was more party theme, songs that make you want to dance and stuff like that. Go watch the videos, you know what I mean? It's like he was like around that time, he was like Kid and Play. You know what I'm saying? They was like Kid and Play before House Party. So that was the kind of music that he dig into. And he was more positive in the hip hop culture. You don't really hear Heavy D around the time when he was here. Getting into it with rappers, rap battles, you know what I mean? That wasn't his area. It was party and catering to the ladies. It was party and love. That was like the content, you know what I mean? The primary content of Heavy D, along with Heavy D and the boys. Okay, so I gotta make sure that they acknowledge, because that was the group that he was with before he became president of Uptown and everything. Yeah, that was their primary content. So, again, these two right here, you know what I mean? Not only we acknowledging them, but yeah, it's just the compare contrast. Very cool. Both of them. Ladies love Cool James and the overweight lover. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was a good compare contrast. And again, rest in peace, Heavy D, man. Rest in peace, Heavy D. So that's going to wrap up compare and contrast. And we finna wrap it up with returning to the capsule. Okay. So returning to the capsule is a segment that we do where we go back in time, in the hip hop capsule, and just reminisce about the hip hop albums that have been released around that time. So this right here is the 15-year edition. Okay, these albums have been out since 15 years ago. It's crazy. So first, we got My Ghetto Report Card by E-40. I can't believe it's been 15 years. Okay, this is crazy. I was in elementary school when he dropped this. Okay, and it was released on March 14, 2006. Okay, and of course the singles "Tell Me Where to Go," "Tell Me Where to Go." Okay, and you and that trying to get the. Hey, oh my goodness, I shouldn't. Okay. All right, this was his 9th album. Again, E-40, he been around for a long time. So this is his 9th album. This was his 9th album. And it peaked #1 on U.S. top rap albums and U.S. top R&B and hip hop albums on Billboard. And as of 2006, they have not updated, but this has been noted back in 2006 that it has been certified gold. And this was around when it was okay to get hyphy. Okay, this is when the hyphy movement was really, really popping around this time. Like, oh my goodness, the memories. I remember being at school, and my friends at the time, we was talking about the song and just dancing to it and trying to crump and all that. Like, oh my gosh. Very monumental. And past episodes, Lil Jon, he did tell me when to go. So yeah. The next album that we got is Reality Check by Juvenile. Okay. So this was released on March 7, 2006. And of course, the singles. Hey, I like you do the rodeo. Hey, I like that sample though. I do love that sample, and I still play that song to this day. I kind of got in trouble playing that song, but other than that, let's get back to the singles. So the next single he got is "Get Your Hustle On" and "Way I Be Leaning." "Get Your Hustle On," it had kind of a political type of reaction, but yeah, it was a single. Those two other singles besides Rodeo, they didn't have a music video. But this was his seventh album. Okay, this was his seventh album, and it peaked number one on U.S. top R&B and hip hop albums and Billboard 200, all on Billboard. And it was certified gold. Okay, it was certified gold. Yeah. I got in trouble trying to do the rodeo. Yeah, I got in trouble trying to do the rodeo. Okay, but that was a song. That was black. That was a song around the time. Okay, but see, do that, do it, yeah. Okay, okay, all right. So that's that. Next, we have "Release Therapy" by Ludacris. Okay, I can't believe it's 15 years. It's a long ass time. So this was released on September 26, 2006. Okay, and the singles, "Shake Your Money Maker." Okay, so Money Maker, all right, grew up, a screw up, and then Runaway Love. Okay, Girls Gone Wild, slap. Okay, and this was his fifth album. This was his fifth album, and it peaked number one on U.S. top rap albums and Billboard 200. And this won a Grammy for Best Rap Award. So yeah, you know what I mean. Again, I remember when this dropped, I actually had the CD. Okay, I actually had the CD. My Ghetto Report card, I had that on my iPod, but I had the actual CD to this, and this was around CDs popping. But yeah, "Runaway Love" was my song, and this has been deemed as Ludacris's darkest album. I don't know why they would note that, but it has been noted. And of course, this is not the usual Ludacris type of content where, what I mean, he like Southern hospitality and but your face to see you didn't get none of that. And of course, around this time, this is when rappers was cutting their braids off, so he cut his braids off, along with Busta Rhymes, Bow Wow, and all that. But I did remember around that time. But other than that, yeah, this has been deemed Ludacris' darkest album because he did touch topics like, runaway love, child abuse, underage pregnancy, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So this was a different direction Ludacris took around that time. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I did remember having the CD. So yeah, that is it for this episode. Again, Polo G, Bad Man. Have you heard that yet? Outlaws by Rick Ross. Have you heard that yet? What's your take on that? And Ice Cube, what's your favorite project by him? Your favorite movie that he wrote, produced, or directed, And then, E-40, have you tried the Goon With The Spoon yet? And, with Nas, are you excited for his new cigar collection? And what's your favorite Heavy D song? And what's your favorite Ludacris? Jeez, the L's. LL Cool J song. And again, any song that I said on any album that I mentioned on Return to the Capsule, what was your favorite memories during that time? So again, it has been Music Link with Kimmy Diamond. Okay, content brought to you by Music Arena. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and much love and stay safe. And again, rest in peace, Young Dolph. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Deuces.